Let's talk for a moment about index cardinality, which is how many index points are there for each different type of index that MongoDB supports. Now, in a regular index, for every single key that you put in the index, there's certainly going to be an index point. And in addition, if there is no key, then there's going to be an index point under the null entry. So essentially, you get about 1-to-1 relative to the number of documents in the collection in terms of your index cardinality. And that makes the index a certain size, and it's proportional to the collection size in terms of its endpointers to documents. In a sparse index, when a document is missing the key being indexed, it's not in the index because it's a null, and we don't keep nulls in the index for a sparse index. So here, we're going to have index points that could be potentially less than or equal to the number of documents. And finally here, in a multi-key index, which is an index on an array value, and an index becomes a multi-key index as soon as you have at least one value inside any document that is an array, then there may be multiple index points for each document. For instance, if there's some sort of tags array in a document, and it's got 3 or 5 or 4 tags, then there's going to be an index point for every single one of these keys. And so it could be greater than the number of documents. And it could be significantly greater than the number of documents. And this comes up because indexes need to be maintained. There's a cost of maintaining them. And if anything causes the index to have to get rewritten, for example, let's say a document moves. When a document moves, and it might move because you just added something to it that makes it too large to fit in the space that the database has for it on disk, so it needs to move it to a new location. Every single index point that points to that document needs to be updated. Now, if the key is null for a particular index, well, then there is no update that needs to happen to the index. If it's a regular index, well, then yeah, one index point needs to get updated for sure. And if it's a multi-key index, and there's 100 or 200 or 300 items in an array, then they all need to get updated inside the index. All right, time for a quiz. Let's say you update a document with a key called tags, and that update causes the document to need to get moved on disk. If a document has 100 tags in it, and if the tags array is indexed with a multi-key index, how many index points need to be updated in the index to accommodate the move? Put just the number below.